Hey, YouTubers and friends. How are all of you doing tonight? I hope you're all doing absolutely fabulous. I'm going to steal my guest line right now. Welcome, legends, to another episode of Tuesday Night Hangout Live. As you saw by the thumbnail and the title, tonight we're having Brad from All Things Country joining us tonight. I like to say, first off, thanks to my world's greatest moderator, Mr. Lodak, for being here. Annie, good to see you. David Villa, mi amigo. Paul C., looking forward to seeing you on the river. Terry Marshall in the house. Mega Dog. Oh, Sam and James, great seeing you. Sam says, welcome, Brad. Annie, good seeing you. Joyce was in here early. Thank you, Joyce. Dot was also here pretty early, along with Mega Dog. All you awesome people in the house. Tom Kinry, good seeing you. There's Mr. Lodak. How you doing, world's greatest moderator, JP Luns and more. All kinds of awesome people in the house. Pure Gold, Jason E. Minor, all of you doing really good. I can't believe it. I think I'll wait till our friend comes on before I get into that. But thank you all for joining us tonight. All the locals, always great having you. If this is your first time here, I do have it set. You have to be a subscriber for at least a minute to chat. A great group of people in the live chat. I do that to keep bots out. And so I guess they can't figure out how to press the subscribe button yet, but that's mainly why I do it. And it seems to help quite a bit. Bill, Ohio Relic Hunter, good to see you, my friend. Yes, smash that like button. Smash it or Brad ain't coming in. Just kidding. But please, smash it hard. Brad and I, all of you probably watch his show. He puts on a great show at 3:00 Sundays. Runs some dirt, shows some shiny, does giveaways and members giveaways and all kinds of good stuff. Always a good crowd, always a good live stream with them. Tonight, who knows where we're going to go in our conversation tonight, but it's going to be a good one. I do have some packages. I have a package I got from Modern Michigan Miner. I got some creek drops, and I got a package from a Canadian friend of mine, Hot Dog Diggs, formerly from Ontario, Niagara Falls area, I believe, but now he lives in the Okanagan of British Columbia. But I told him I was going to wait till some more stuff I'm getting's coming. I won some pay dirt off of Modern Michigan Prospector, the creator of Creek Drops, the other day. Then yesterday, I couldn't believe it. I can't believe I'm Irish because I hardly ever win. And I won like 2 days in a row or something. It was phenomenal. But I have some stuff coming from Gentleman Prospector and Mama Bird also. And I think I'll save that for next Tuesday night Hangout Live Open Line Tuesday. So you won't get to see what I got until the first of next month. And we'll also be doing a Prospector's Dream monthly giveaway at that time. But right now, oh no. Oh no. Really? I don't know what I did. I'm gonna have to talk to StreamYards or something. I can't get to it now. What the? Oh, I'm not liking this, everybody. Now, 3 or 4 times this happened to me where my dashboard in StreamYards, before the show, I can scroll it, no problem. And now I can't. But I guess you're going to get Ed Marvin live intro, and it's a lot shorter. So we'll be right back. Hey, YouTubers and friends. Welcome to Flashing Your Pants, Ed Marvin live.
That escalated quickly.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's good, Legends.
Are you, hold on 1 second. I'm sorry. Are you talking to me? Are you talking to me? I don't know what to tell you. I'm live right now, honey. Been starting at 8 p.m. for 8 years. I don't know. Disconnect, shut down, and come back up. I don't know. Sorry, everybody, but I'm having. Does that ever happen to you in your StreamYard? You use StreamYard, right?
I don't use StreamYard. I have Starlink internet, so all kinds of different other things happen to me, buddy.
But what do you use to stream, live stream?
Straight off YouTube.
Oh, okay. Okay. But there's a section in my StreamYard studio, whatever you want to call it, that I have thumbnails, I have other things like
I did StreamYard once for a silver auction I had. And I had all the pictures of all the silver that I was auctioning off. And whenever I went live, everything disappeared on me. And I've never used it since because of that.
Well, usually I can scroll this area and get to everything I need to. But now I can't get to my commercial. I can't get to, or not my commercial, my intermission. I can't get to my AU thanks for the super chat and stuff like that. Oh yeah, super chat when I do that.
Gotcha.
I'm just couldn't even do my intro tonight because I can't scroll to it. And I took down, made everything small that I could make small, and I still can't do it. It's just bugging the. I don't know what caused it either. I have no idea what caused it, and 1 minute I could scroll and the next second I couldn't. I'm like, what the? Oh, the joys of live streaming. The joys of live streaming. Let me get you over here so we can all look at you, and you're big, and I can duck out if need to. Like, oh, don't want to do it that way. Something's done. That's for when I'm sharing screen, I guess. I don't know. I used to do there I did it again. I used to do everything on OBS. And it's a live streaming encoder. And I'd stream off that right to YouTube. Now I'm using StreamYards to YouTube. Now for $50 a month,
yeah,
it shouldn't be doing that.
Like drug dealers, they got people hooked and jacked the price.
I'm afraid to go back to StreamYard, to OBS, because it takes more bandwidth and works harder on my RAM. And how old was my tower, Mr. Lodak? My tower's like 5 years old. So, and I don't know if I want to spend the money. Nick Molnar, good to see you. I got your package. No, it was Paul who sent me the package, but good seeing you, Nick. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know if I want to spend $1,000 on another tower or like a good streaming laptop. I'd rather go with the tower, though. So, question. Do you have to sleep sometime? Sometimes, yeah. But not at 5:15 your time. So I'm sorry I put a hiccup in the show, but I'm kind of pissed off at my StreamYard because I can't do what I want it to do. Oh well. It is what it is. It is what it is. Guy I work with got me this hat. Because he says I say it all the time. Nick's computer crashed. Back in December, I got a new computer, early Christmas present. Excellent. Excellent. Joseph, good to see you. Hearts, good to see you.
Josephus and Karen, 2 legends right there.
Some Karens.
There's
what was that?
Legend. The Joseph and Karen, Hearts of Gold, 2 legends right there.
Oh. See, you're very good with all those names. What's this, Mary? Ed, go ahead. Me bad until May. So I get your campsite. No, I get it. I know the owner. Aquadonkey, good seeing you. Aaron and Beth, hope to see you at Rose Nose Monkey Fest again. I'm trying to talk this guy into coming down to Rose Nose Monkey Fest.
Yes. A lot of people are talking to me.
A lot of people try and get you down there.
Rose-Nosed Monkey Fest, Spring Rendezvous in New Hampshire.
The same weekend though, so it's pick one or the other. You've been to that one already though, haven't you, in Bath? So you have to come down to Rose-Nosed Monkey Fest. Hi, Beth. Oops.
Mrs. Donkey, good to see you.
Yeah, that's why Heath Doty's not coming to Rose-Nosed, because he'll be at the Rendezvous in Bath. I'd like to make it there one day.
It's way more local for Heath, though.
Huh?
It's way more local for Heath to go to the Rendezvous, right? He's in Vermont.
Oh, yeah. He's in Upper New York, not far from the Vermont border. Like I was telling you before, last time I went there, well, I did go to my son who lives in Lynn, Mass first. But, Lynn, Mass, Plymouth, Vermont, it's still like 15 hours for me. No gold in Bath, New Hampshire, Brian Wilder says. American Gold Prospectors. Yeah. I don't believe it. There you go, Aqua Donkey. There's a lot of places I want to get to. It's called Work and Funds. All this chit chat is fun, but bring on the gold porn, the treasure porn. I'm sure our friend, the legend, All Things Country, has some treasure porn to show you, Bill, you gold perv, you. Right, he's all like, Aqua Donkey's like, it. Can never see too much gold. Terry Marshall, I know I said hi, but hi again. Everybody keep Andrew, Cancer Man AU, Adventure Gold before that, in your thoughts and prayers. He has the appointment today. Why, Gold, how you doing? Coming from the gold fields of Arizona. Okay, how do I want to torture you first? Let's get to know you a little, Brad.
Sure.
How did All Things Country get started?
I've been prospecting and treasure hunting, and I've been in the outdoors all my life, fishing, hunting. Got into gold prospecting in my early 20s. We could talk about that later, but I was very passionate. When I started my channel, I'm passionate about getting people, especially kids, outdoors, off the consoles, off the tablets. Start using your biceps and your shoulders and stop using your thumbs all the time.
Right.
And I was always on the fence, and always. So YouTube to me is my TV. I don't typically, other than watching football and hockey. That's pretty much all I use TV for, right? And I came across Jason at Flower Gold Wizards.
Oh yeah, Jason the Mason.
And I saw me and Jason. I saw a guy that was salt of the earth working man, going out on the weekend, enjoying his hobbies, sharing them with everybody, making entertaining videos, using his sense of humor, having fun with it. you can tell when you watch Flower Gold Wizard's video that he truly enjoys what he does, right? And I said, well, it doesn't matter if I get as big as Jason or if I get it. It's not about the numbers. It's about why am I not doing that? Whether I do that for 5 people or 5,000 people or 50 people, it doesn't matter, right? And it was a creative outlet for me to start sharing my hobbies with everybody else, right?
Right.
And putting my own kind of spin on it, right? So yeah, that's actually how my channel got started. Is and an honorable mention too to Chris Vogus, because I like Vogus a lot too. Another real legitimate dude, right? Like straightforward, salted.
He's been, both of them have been great guests on Tuesday Night Hangout Live a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
Chris actually reached out to me when he found out, coming back from my mom's funeral, all my bank accounts got hit. It was before I had a RFID protected wallet.
Yeah.
Someone scanned my wallet in like the airport or somewhere in Southern California. But all my accounts, my PayPal, my everything got hit hard. I lost easy couple grand.
Ouch.
Easy. And Chris found out about it and actually helped me out a little. Wasn't a lot, but hey.
Yeah, it's a thought that counts, right? I mean, it's part of community.
Every little bit helps. Yeah, I think when he first came on my channel, he only had like 1,100 or something subscribers, but
Gotcha.
I've been following Chris Vogus for a long time too, Nick. But, Joseph said Vogus inflicted me with the fever.
Yeah, Chris is a good guy. Very natural. He's obviously, because I live stream at 3:30 on Sundays. Chris is in a completely different time zone, right? And I was sluicing away in the backyard, and all of a sudden Vogus popped in. It was like, it was incredible. It was like having your favorite singer come sing at your birthday party. Right? I was like, Vogus. Probably screamed like a little girl at the time. Jason from Flower Gold Wizards was actually the first day I got monetized. I had put out a video, and it wasn't even about being monetized. It was, I forget, it was one of my prospecting videos. Jason was actually my first ever super chat.
Oh, cool. Cool.
Yeah, it was a really, really cool experience. It made me feel really good. And he still swings by, still drops the odd super chat, but regardless, he still swings by.
Same here.
Wes Hatful that makes the Flower Gold Wizards Smoothwater heads, which I absolutely love. He's a member of the channel, huge channel supporter as well. Really good guy. So
sweet.
Yeah, it's been a absolutely amazing experience.
I actually had a really good time up with Jason and Mike Pung on Lake Superior a couple years ago. Great time.
I was all set to go to Jason's Patreon meetup, and that was the year that they banned sluicing on Superior.
Oh, I was there the year before that, and I didn't know it. I just asked Jason, I'm like, are you gonna be by the state park on Lake Superior around this time? I'm going up and I'll be hitting the beach, maybe if I can with Mike Pond. Judy and I are going up there. Would love to see you. And he's like, yeah, I'll be there and I'll be camped at blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, cool. And he ended up having his patrons there. And two of them I know from Ohio.
Okay.
Yeah. Ron Anders and Gary from Black Sands Campground. And they told me that he told the Patreons that we were going to meet up with me too. That was a good time with Jason. I'd like to get up there and hang on the beach with him again. And who knows what else. Scott Bent Fork, how you doing? Ed Ron brought me freeze. What? Oh, Ron brought you a freeze dryer. Cool. Yeah, Ron Anders was a good guy. Really good guy. But I ended up seeing, well, between Mike Pung, Tim and Barry of the Michigan Dredge Monkeys, and Greg and Ron, I ended up seeing 5 people that I already knew like 8 hours away from me on Lake Superior. It ended up being a really cool weekend. Felipe, how you doing? Well, so Flower Gold Wizard inspired you to start your channel?
Absolutely. And if you could, anytime you're, people have asked me that online, and I'll say it every time. Jason absolutely just a man and a GoPro and a dog, right? Chasing gold. It's awesome.
And he's a real cool guy to boot. I think it's about the same story with him and Gentleman Prospector. That Jason really encouraged him and stuff. Jason is a great guy. So I could imagine where your channel name comes from, but where did the channel name come from?
So, anybody who's really into creating a YouTube channel kind of knows that it's very risky to have a channel that branches out. If, as I mentioned earlier, it was never about having 1 million subs and being famous, or the channel is an expression of me. It's an expression of what I do, and I prospect, I treasure hunt, I metal detect, I fish, I camp. I love being outdoors. I love being in nature, and it's an expression of me. So what I've tried to do over time is slowly introduce different elements into the channel. And that's why it was called All Things Country from the beginning, because it is literally meant to be all things country, whether you like to camp or survival stuff, or you want to fish or hunt or prospect, or it's about anything that's out in nature, right? So I kind of set that up from the beginning so I could, kind of slowly branch it out, right?
More of a country variety channel.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's going to branch out much farther than what it is. I mean, that's kind of what I do, right? It's where you're going to kind of find me, is out in the woods doing something every week.
Right. Hello, friend. Now, what does country living mean to you?
Wow. So where I Prospect is my hunt camp. So when I was in the forces, I had was fortunate enough to make friends with a guy that had a camp. And the way hunt camps work in Ontario, or for the most part, is you buy a share in a hunt camp, right? You get invited to the hunt camp as a guest. If they like you and you come back for a few years and they still like you, and someone drops off, you'll get invited to buy a share in the camp. And what that means is, you get a key, you come and go as you please. You're a trusted member, so as they say, of the camp, right? So, and that's how I got into prospecting. I was in my early 20s, still in the military, and I've been interested in panning gold since I was a kid, right? So we had a cottage in the Laurentians where there was actual placer gold. I never found any. But I was a kid, I'd be digging in the creek and shaking my little pan around or whatever, probably a pie plate my mom gave me or something I stole out of the kitchen, right? And I was always interested in, when I joined the hunt camp, the old guys, when I got to the camp, there was I'm not really answering your question, but we'll get back to that. There was a gold pan hanging on the wall, right?
Right.
And like, what's the gold pan for? There's no placer gold in Ontario, which for the most part there isn't. We have glacial till and stuff like that, right? But oh yeah, if you go down in the creek, we do it every once in a while. You can get a little bit of gold. You can, and I got hooked. And to me, to circle back and actually answer your question, what country living is like to me is living a simple life, being active in the outdoors, doing things that you love, learning new things like gold panning. And just being, just really enjoying that laid back lifestyle that, getting active and off the couch. That's what country living means to me.
No, I'm not, Bill. I lived a lot farther up from Kurt Cobain's backyard of Aberdeen. I know some stuff more around Capitol Forest in Olympia and more southwest, but I was way, way up north, closer to Jason from Mount Baker Mining, actually, where he has land for his logs and stuff. Is the same valley I lived in. I lived right under the county where Jason from Mount Baker Mining is from. He's in Whatcom. There's British Columbia, Whatcom County, Skagit County. I was way, way up there, probably 4 hours away from Aberdeen, if not farther. But sorry about that. Ooh. There is a claim nearby. Road trip? Oh, don't tempt me. Don't tempt me. Go see if you don't mind me seeing my kids and grandchildren while we're there. They actually don't live too far from Aberdeen. Have you been to British Columbia much?
When I was in the forces, I was stationed in British Columbia for a while.
Oh, okay.
So I was stationed in Merritt, BC, right on the coast. I've panned in BC. I've panned in Alaska. Yeah, beautiful country.
Oh, wherever you went with the military, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't stationed in Alaska. That was an actual planned trip, but yeah. No, BC is a beautiful country. So yeah, I was in Merritt. I've been panning along the Fraser. stuff like that. Yeah. No, it's odd. I think I saw Nick Molnar mention I found gold in Ontario. It's not impossible. When people think of gold in Canada, they think of British Columbia. They think of the Yukon. Ontario is actually Canada's biggest gold producer out of all the provinces. We have more gold here than any of those other places.
Wasn't it in a place we both know in Ontario where the first gold rush in Canada was?
It was, and we can talk about it because honestly, I've made fun of it when you brought it up on my Sunday lives. Like, don't tell them. I know you know, right? So Canada's first gold rush was in 1866 in El Dorado, Ontario, which is half an hour from my camp, which is half an hour from which is where I prospect, right? But as far as that goes, the reason I find so much gold at my camp is it's a very specific set of circumstances. It's not.
Don't you have a spoils pile?
I do.
At your place?
So in 1866, and I believe you've had Kim on the show from El Dorado.
Yes.
Yeah,
I've had Kim on.
Fantastic person.
Kim
She's no longer there anymore. Yeah.
She's
no longer there anymore.
She's in Prince Edward Island or something like that.
Prince Edward Island is is Canada's smallest province. It's just off the east coast.
Right.
Yeah. So
I think she's originally from there, if I remember right.
I don't know. I just know that she shut the tours down and the operation down, and that she moved out to PEI.
Yeah, I've heard it was kind of a pain with her and some trespassers.
Yeah, I would imagine, right? So my camp. So in 1866, whenever that the El Dorado gold mine was established, it was like the Klondike. People moved in there. There was people chasing the gold. People coming from all over to strike it rich, right? And what they found was that the gold deposits were very, very, while they were there, they were very, very shallow. So, they had caves, but when people moved to the area, so like I said, my camp is half an hour from El Dorado. If you were to scour the countryside, there's mine adits all over the place. From people that moved in for that gold rush and made themselves a little homestead and a claim. And my camp is adjacent to one of those adits, one of those homesteads. Small mine. There's multiple adits apparently on the property. I don't own the property where the adits are actually.
Right.
I own the adjacent property. Sorry. And so in the old days, so what they did, it's hard rock mining, which is where all the gold comes from in Ontario. We don't have placer gold like BC has. Not in the sense of, we have glacial till, but we don't have a lot of big placer gold. And in these adits, what they would do is they'd crush the rock and then they'd run a trommel beside the creek, right? So they'd crush the rock, cart the crushed rock to the creek, run the trommel, and they'd leave all these tailings piles behind. Now the tailings piles, so if you ever, everybody watches Gold Rush, for example, right? People think of a tailings pile as being 50 feet high. I'm talking 12, 15 feet high max tailings piles, right? And they'd pull the old trommel down the creek with a horse. So what they do once the tailings pile got too high for the trommel, they'd move it down about 5 feet and start a new one, right?
You have a video where you're working the tailing piles that I've seen.
Yeah, that was so the other thing I do is I have my blasting license, so I blow beaver dams, right? So the county pays me to blow beaver dams, which were kind of blowing a beaver dam is like recreating the spring flood, right? So the spring flood washes through the tailings piles, brings the gold down the creek. Likewise, if you have to blow a beaver dam upstream, it runs through just like the spring flood and goes right through all those tailings piles as well, right? So, and then that luckily, because my property is adjacent to where all those adits were, brings all that gold down to my property. Well, not all of it, but that's a whole other story. But yeah, it's a unique opportunity. So that's why I was kind of telling you I'm not too worried about people flocking to El Dorado trying to find my property, because it's just a very unique set of circumstances that you're just not going to find everywhere.
And a lot of El Dorado, like from the specimens that I got from Kim, most of it's sulfides anyway. So
one of the nearest towns is literally called Sulphide, Ontario. And back during those days, it was an absolute boom, right? Now I don't think there's more than 50 people live there. And there's like nothing in the town, right?
Well, that's one thing about boom towns. Boom towns bust a lot of times, and then they turn to something else.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of the history around how I got into it, where my gold comes from, and it's, which is kind of funny because the gold that I'm catching is stuff the old-fashioned trommels and sluices missed. I mean, in 1866, they didn't have synthetic fibers, they didn't have miner's moss, they didn't have just old crummy carpets that they're running in these old-fashioned sluice boxes, right? So,
or burlap or something.
Yeah, anything that they had that would rough up.
Yeah, did they use a lot of mercury, the old timers there, in their sluices and stuff?
Not that I've never found mercury in the creek. And I think that's more of a product of it coming out of hard rock, because they weren't looking for it in the creek, right?
If you have cinnabar in the area, you'll have mercury also, wild mercury, if you have cinnabar deposits.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm not sure. I mean, I've never seen any evidence of it, but doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Right. Now, Bill wanted to know if you ever detect the area.
Great question. I do not. I've never. I love metal detecting, but I've never invested in a gold level metal detector. Right. I've detected the area for relics and found some stuff. I was one of the coolest things actually I found. This is really old. Didn't find it with a metal detector, obviously, since it's glass. But this is an early 1900s liniment bottle. You can see the top doesn't have it's not meant for a screw top. It's meant for a cork.
Right.
And I found that out, prospecting in the area, digging in the creek. But as far as Bill's question, I've detected the area for artifacts. I found things like horseshoes, old square nails, stuff like that. I've never found anything of any real value with the detector. And if you've ever come to my lives on a Sunday and you've seen the gold that I get from the area, it's very, very small, very flaky. So when you picture what the profile of a piece of gold that would not hold into a carpet, it would be flat and flaky, right? It would wash out a lot easier than, say, fine gold or obviously a nugget or what have you, right? So I don't think that most detectors would pick it up. And running a detector trying to find a little tiny flake of gold is kind of not overly productive either, right? So, in other words, what I'm trying to say is there's no gold nuggets. I've never found a nugget. The biggest piece I actually found on one of my lives, and it weighed 0.1 grams. That's the biggest piece I've actually pulled out of that area.
Nice. Hey, it was weighable.
It was weighable.
Now, Nick had a question. Have you ever been to Vermilion River up by Sudbury?
Nick, I may have. I've prospected up in Sudbury. I have a really, really good friend up there that gave me kind of like a guided moose hunt. And he took me panning in one of the rivers because he knew I was interested. I don't know that it was or wasn't the Vermilion, but I have prospected for gold in the area. And we found a few little flakes. It was fun. Sudbury, like I mentioned, Ontario is not very high in placer gold, right? But Sudbury and Timmins are two areas where you can actually find placer gold. Placer gold, when I say placer gold, being gold that's worn from host rock and washed down the river naturally, not rock crushed like what I normally prospect.
Right. Come on, we're on the same continent, but we find your gold all the time in my area, and I'm not.
I know we want it back.
No, it's being detained here permanently. You can. Don't mean I wouldn't sell it back to you.
Yeah.
Not giving it back, are we, Annie?
There's plenty for everybody, guys. There's plenty for everybody.
Right. Anything as possible is in the house tonight.
Good to see you, Bob.
How you doing? Yeah, I was sitting in my truck at work doing what I do sometimes at work.
Actually, I popped into Bob's right after you this morning, and he said,
you
Flash
did?
was here, and he said you're going to be on his show.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was actually working on my daily report. I don't have really nothing to do on my job site right now, but as a superintendent, I'm there to babysit subs anyway. So my flooring guys are on the job, and I was out doing my daily report and saw Annie Finn was on, so I stopped by. I don't know how you guys can ice fish, though. If I'm going to be on the ice, I'm going to have a pair of Brewer States on.
There you go.
Or CCMs. I kind of like my Brewers, though.
There you go.
Stephen, good to see you. And welcome, Anything. Glad to see you here. Nope. And what Ohio gold? Right. No gold in Ohio.
Annie, I thought we were friends. Annie.
But you speaking of Ohio and no gold, you should come down to Monkey Fest.
So you've told me about 6 times.
Right. I'll probably bring it up like 4 or 5 more too. That reminds me.
Since Annie is here, Ed, I promised Annie I would do this. Since Annie is here, Annie, well, you know Annie and you know Bear, right? Brian, Bear Prospecting.
Personally.
They're on March 7th and 8th. It's on my community tab. They're hosting a golden treasure show.
Yes, in Columbus, Indiana.
Yeah. So don't rush out to do it right now, but I did put a post up today before the show on my community tab if anyone wants to check it out. A good opportunity to meet some nice people. Dorothy Richards, legend Dorothy herself, is going to be there as well. So
yes, I can't wait to meet her.
Are you going?
Well, it's only like 3 hours away from me.
There you go.
So I'm going to be there. Rose Nose Treasure will be there. She'll actually have a booth. So,
get out of here.
No, so swear. And
awesome.
if the real Mike Briggs is going and Rose, good chances are Grease Monkey will be there too.
Another good dude.
I'm sure there'll be some of my friends from the Buckeye chapter will be there.
Cool.
Thomas Folks, he's Indiana GPAA's Indiana director. Great guy. Georgianne, good to see you. Georgianne might even be at the Gold Show. And they're in Columbus. I know Annie. It says interested on Facebook for me, but good chances I'll be there. Good chances I'll be there. Now, out of all the content you make, Brad, what type do you enjoy making the best?
Do lives include content? Are lives included in content when you say that, or just videos?
Oh no, lives are included because that's my favorite.
Live stream. So, Mike, the way I never knew I would be. I never thought that would be the case with me either. Ed, is to me live streams are far and away my favorite. Because I'm doing things and I'm answering. Those that have watched my lives know. People will come in that are new to the hobby. I absolutely love answering their questions. But not only that, I love hanging. I feel like I'm hanging out with a bunch of friends every Sunday at 3:30. Right, and I feel like this is our time. We all get together. We chill out. We see what we can get for gold. We give away a few prizes. We have some fun. But far and away, that's my favorite part of having the channel. And I never thought it would be that way when I first started. I had several hundred subscribers before. I wasn't one of those people that got 50 subscribers and was dying to go live, right? Going live was something that happened when I, down the road, when I met so many people in the community and I saw some people go live and said, wow, why don't I try that too? And I ended up absolutely loving it. It's my favorite. It's absolutely my favorite part of the having a channel.
I almost 100% agree with you, Brad. Because I haven't really done much of anything really besides lives for the past 8 years.
Which is fine.
I've put out some shorts. I should have spread them out once a week, though, instead of every day. I went through all the ghost towns and mining towns too quick.
That was a really cool series of shorts you did, actually. I really enjoyed those.
But yeah, I was posting one a day for a while, and at first it was too easy. I'm like, oh yeah, cool. But I don't want to repeat nothing. So then you start running out. Then you start running out of ghost towns and mining towns.
Yeah.
Gail, good seeing you.
Hey, Gail, good to see you. One of my longest standing members, actually, on the channel. Yeah, when I run out of shorts content, Ed, I just run out and catch more fish.
Right, right.
Throw a fish up here and there.
Yeah, fishing's cool, but since I came back from Washington back to Ohio, I kind of paid more attention to prospecting. I knew there was a community here, but I had to go back to Washington to help my kids. Then I helped my mother, and like 3 months turned into 9 months of being out there. So I got into prospecting more out there. And a Canadian inspired me to do YouTube.
Really?
Yeah, I actually did a tribute for him. A Caribou native, Darcy Cooper.
I know the name. I'll probably subscribe to them.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's no longer with us, but
okay, I remember that because you did a tribute on the yes.
He's who inspired me to share my adventures and stuff. But it's amazing how much video raw material I still have that no one will probably ever see. Want to know one of the things I love second best about live streaming?
What's that?
Okay, the first part is I get to have great guys like you on, and some great gals too, from all the fingers of the hand, and we have all these awesome people in the live chat and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The second best thing about live streaming is there's no editing, even though I do enjoy editing. But
yeah, I enjoy the editing process. I've recently started going back, creating some long form content that obviously this time of year it's not prospecting content for the most part. Other than I did put out a video like a basics for people that, might want to get into. Because I always wanted to do that. I always thought every decent prospecting channel should have like a prospecting 101 video on their channel, right?
Yeah.
But I enjoy the editing process, and part of the channel for me is about pushing myself. Right? It's not now. I did go through a period about a little over a year ago where I burnt myself out on the channel, where I was like, having that feeling of I need to put one long form, 3 shorts, and a live stream up every week was just like a total burnout to me. Right?
Yeah, but that's when
and
burnout happens, or you end up getting overwhelmed and you quit altogether.
Right. So, and I started feeling that way. So I backed off and I came back with nothing but live streams, because that was the part like we just discussed, right? That I enjoy the best. They don't burn me out at all. In fact, I leave my live stream happy every single Sunday.
Right.
And I came, and just recently it's more about, this time of the year, I speak a lot about mental health on my channel. I'm a big advocate for mental health, and making those long form videos like the latest few I've done, whether they're MRE reviews or out cooking in the woods, it pushes me to do something every week.
Right.
It pushes me to be active. And if I'm active, and especially if I'm outside, that improves my mental health, and it makes me a happier, a better person. So that's kind of, instead of trying to serve my channel, I'm trying to make my channel serve me. I'm using my channel as a means to push me to get outside and do all the things that I advocate others to do.
Yeah, and I don't care who you are, how big or how small of a channel you are. I think we all go through the same thing of certain things. We'll all face burnout. We'll all face it. Especially if you do editing and stuff and trying to keep on a weekly schedule. Bam, 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 bam. That's one great thing about our live streams too, because it guarantees you at least one weekly piece of content.
Exactly.
And since you and I are the same and we both enjoy it for a lot of the same reasons, but I am glad I started taking summers off from the live stream, but I still need to get my fix of the live chat with my premieres of my Tuesday night Hangout live flashbacks.
Yeah.
But I never missed a show until my mom died. And when I went out west, I ended up missing 3 shows. And so I'm like, okay, I'm not going to kill myself again. I can no longer say I never missed a live show in so-and-so years. So I decided to take summers off. I think it's a good thing. But I still take the time to edit and remix and trim the fat of an old episode, one of my favorites, and do a premiere for it. So I have the live chat too, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want it to become a job. When it starts to become something that you have to attend every week on certain days, that's literally the definition of a job.
I wanted a labor of love and not feeling too much like work, because we both know we don't make enough out of it to call it work. It has to be a labor of love. And if we get to the point of like some of our friends we know, yeah, so be it. I'd love to do YouTube full time as long as I could keep it not feeling like a daily grind. Because I love construction. I love my job. I'm just glad now I get to dictate more than do the labor and the stuff.
Yeah.
But my work's kind of more on the phone now and paperwork than it is physical work. Can we... It's been about an hour, Brad. Let's take... And somehow I got my studio back here. Let's take a 2-minute and 11-second break. So if he needs to, he can hit the John. I know I need to. And get a little nicotine fit in. Because I don't smoke while I'm live. But yeah. I do.
Sounds good, buddy.
Unfortunately. So please hang out for 2 minutes and 11 seconds. And Brad and I will be back right after this.
Take a break, but don't go far. Gold fever's burn like a shooting star. Grab a snack, stuff gold without still more stress. Instead of spitting the talk I walk about, shovels in the dirt, pickaxes high, treasures waiting, reach for the sky. Tuesday night, hang out live, don't go away. We'll be back real soon, there's more to say. Legends of gold, secrets untold. Hunt's not over, there's more to unfold. From lost mines to rivers wide, prospectors digging side by side. Old time stories bring the new finds, gold and treasure, it's the richy high. So breathe your time, shovels in the dirt, pickaxes high, treasures waiting, reach for the sky. Tuesday night, hang out live, don't go away. We'll be back real soon there's more to say. Legends of gold, secrets untold. The hunt's not over, there's more to unfold. As Mother Sean LeBron has his finger on the hair behind, that's our gold.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Yay. Yeah, for $60 for a campsite, could bring your friend, bring your dog.
Bring your friend's dog if you want.
If he's willing to let you take it, yeah. There's trout in the river if you want to get a non-resident fishing license. It is on private property in central Ohio on a gold-bearing trout stream or river. But since it's on a river, you have to have a state license. If it was in someone's pond, that'd be a different story. But yeah, check it out. Check it out. Come on down, buddy. Oh, I hear you, Bennett. Bedrock Bennett, a good personal friend of mine's in the house. Coming straight from the mother lode. We need nuggets, not trout. I haven't been fishing for years because I'd rather be finding gold than I won't eat nothing out of the streams around my house, Brad. No
Not
way.
bad, eh?
No way. Too much farmland, too much runoff, you know. Okay, here it is. Bill started it a long time ago. They're jonesing. They're kind of used to it. I should have warned you.
All right. So what do we want to see first? Do we want to see? Let's start with my biggest piece of gold I've ever found in the wild. How's that?
Okay, but while you show your nuggets, I want to
show my nuggets.
Can I say something to Gail real quick?
Sure.
It is good seeing ATC and I on the same live, right? But Gail, there's the guy. I was listening to Joe Rogan's podcast yesterday, and there's a YouTuber that was on it that's really into like what's that, Nazca area of Peru. Pillars of Time is his channel, Gail. I think you really might appreciate it. Just saying. I like archaeology and paleontology too. So just saying. I'm sorry. Thank you. Northern Sound, how you doing, Frank? Good to see you. Yes, Pillars of Time. Edster, I almost thought you were my friend Victor. Victor saying that. Oh, yeah, super chat. Now I can do it.
Oh, yeah, super chat.
Oh, yeah, super chat.
Thank you, Aaron, for the $5 or $10 super chat. I greatly appreciate those. I was hooked on fishing big time. I mean, big time. Then I found gold. I would rather go fish, dirt fishing any day. Well, buddy, I've seen some of the nuggets you found. Oh my God. I really jonesing to get back out to the mother lode. Bennett, would love to see you and the family again. Thanks for being here, buddy.
All right. So here's the biggest nugget I ever found. So I found this. So I don't know what everyone's definition of a nugget is. My definition of a nugget is anything over 0.5.
That's what I'd agree with that. Anything over a half gram.
So this one's 0.688. I found it in Coos Canyon, of all places. It was lodged in some degraded bedrock, and I was
up
scraping
in Maine, huh?
Yeah, and it just kind of plopped out of this degraded bedrock. Looked massive when it came out, but it's, as usual, as they tend to be sometimes, it's a cornflake. But I don't know how well the camera's going to pick it up either. Not far from Rosie's, Davis. Not far from Rosie's at all.
Oh, and it looks like a heart, too.
It does look like a heart. Hearts of Gold pointed that out on the weekend. I actually showed this off on the weekend because I had a new person in my chat. And I dropped it on the floor and proceeded to find it really, really quick.
Oh, I could imagine. And that reminds me, when you sweep your floor, I'll take your sweepings.
I actually swept my floor already for a video one time.
And I bet you found gold in it. I do when I
much, but I found gold. Looks like a chicken, says Akanaki. So this piece isn't a nugget. It comes in at 0.307, but this is my favorite piece of gold I've ever found. It's a specimen. It's gold on quartz.
Oh, nice. Now, did you find that?
So this one I actually found at my camp.
Nice, nice.
So when you picture gold that can escape an old-fashioned trommel, right? You can see why this would, because it's got so much quartz in it, it would lower the weight.
Yeah, and depending on the mesh of the trommel, that's why you can find nuggets in like old bucket line tailings and stuff. Yeah, the big ones went right out the back.
And what's really cool about this piece is, for all you geography nerds, it's shaped exactly like the province of Ontario.
Kinda, and that little thing right down there is where 80% of all Canada lives.
right along that border. Yep.
Priority Gold Prospecting, welcome.
In some of my older videos, there's a screenshot in the. So typically when I do a long form, I do a little intro, like where I talk, and then I run like music with some screenshots and stuff, right? In the older videos, during those screenshots, you can see that underneath a microscope. It's like a coin scope. It's a really, really nice piece.
Yeah, you should send it here. I'll check it out under mine.
Should I? Yeah. Let me. What's your address, Ed? Let me grab an envelope. Just kidding. Not happening.
I think you already have my address.
I do have your address. Still not sending it to you, but yes, I have your address.
I have, buddy. I can't say I blame you, buddy. I can't. Can't blame you one iota.
Yes. So Gail won the Australian gold nugget for my first ever giveaway. It was so anything that goes into my vial, I never give it away. But I bought the gold nugget sales 3 gram the red Aussie pay dirt. Right when I first started the channel, that's what I was doing was pay dirt reviews because they were easy to edit, good way to cut your teeth, right? And it was a guaranteed one gram nugget, and that thing is an absolute beauty. I wish I had a picture of it I could show, but yeah, that was a really, really nice nugget. Probably one of the nicer nuggets I've ever had in my possession. But I don't give away the gold from my vial. I've got almost like an emotional attachment to it. It's really weird. But to give away a nugget that I paid for from a bag of pay dirt was a little bit different for me. Like I was kind of easily able to part with that, right? I didn't work too hard for it. I mean, I work hard for $300 that it cost me to buy the pay dirt, but
right.
So I'm on my second 2-ounce vial now from when I started, and yes, there is some pay dirt gold in here. I used to be one of those people that would keep their pay dirt gold and their prospecting gold separately. And what kind of ended that for me was when I got my first ounce. And then I just decided, well, I want to see what it all looks like together, right? And so I just, the hell with it.
I was like a lot. At one time, I think everyone is, though. I don't care who you are. But there was a time I'd keep all my pickers and pokers and nuggets and finds. It'd be separated from where I found it.
Yeah, I can see that.
And like if I was up on my claims on Finney Creek in Washington, all Finney Creek gold would go in one vial. If I was on the Klamath River at our claims in Orleans, all that gold would go in its own vial. And I could pretty much tell you where I found each and every piece and the vials where I found it. Then it got to the point where I can't eat gold, but I can use what I can gain from gold to eat and survive. So now it all goes together. It all gets dried out and I'll sell it one way or another.
Yeah, I've never sold any yet. I just can't bring myself to do it.
Yeah.
It's here. Well, that's an interesting point. We can talk a little bit about stacking, but I haven't been able to bring myself to sell any. I got people all the time wanting me to bring out an ATC line of pay dirts. It's not something I'm overly interested in, right? I don't need the hassle. To be honest, I've seen some people pan and it looks like a dry heave set to water, right? And I'm like, I don't want to be responsible if you buy a 0.5 gram pay dirt from me and you get 0.4 and it's your panning skills versus what I sent you in the bag, right?
Because there's always those person who think they're the greatest panner in the world and you rip me off.
Exactly.
I can't blame the people that do it or put out limited editions like Brian Wilder does. He'll do a limited run or any of the others, that might do it. It's a hard gig. It's a hard gig. I put out a pay dirt thing, but every now and then I'll put together like a flash bucket of some salt and peppers or scales and maybe some fly poo. And
but I think what's really nice about it though, so I see like Aqua Donkeys here in chat. There is Aqua Donkey gold in this vial.
Oh, right? See that?
There's Gentleman Prospector gold in this vial.
Yeah.
There's Troubled One gold in this vial. And as I go through it, and as we have the YouTube channel, we make friends and we have lives. where we chat with people. Now it's kind of, even though when I first combined it all, it's like it devalued it. Now it's like, well, in this vial is a little piece of the community, So I think that's really neat. So anyway, back to the gold porn, because I know people like the gold porn. This is a 2-ounce vial. This is the one that I'm working. This is the one that I'm working on now. I have one full upstairs, but this is the one that I'm working on now. Now, keep in mind that I'm 51 years old, and I've been doing this since I was 22. So it's not this didn't happen like in a year or something.
Didn't happen overnight, right?
No. So there you go.
Nice.
And it is clean, and I will add more to it, and then I'll clean it. And there are pieces that are in there that, further to what you said, that I actually will, when I clean, I'm like, yeah, I remember the day I unearthed that. I remember being live, and we got this 0.1 gram picker, right? There's pieces in there that I absolutely will always remember.
Yeah, definitely. I'll remember. See, but a lot of what I remember, I've sold. But I'll always
never sold any gold.
No, I don't. And more power to you. I kind of have a philosophy with gold and silver, because if people know you stack, and let's say worst case scenario, shit hits the fan, it puts a target on your back.
Well, so I mentioned stacking, and this came up
extra hard.
This came up on my live stream, actually, on the weekend. It's a very, very interesting topic, stacking. I mentioned earlier in the show, that's part of what fueled my interest as a kid, was I was so super interested in precious metals, right? And I told you I used to, act like I was panning. I thought I was panning in the creek, with the old pipe pan and stuff.
Right.
So I started from there I started coin collecting as a kid, right? Because it's easy. My grandparents are from Scotland, so I got my grandfather gave me a whole bunch of, old Scottish coins, stuff like that. I started from there, and then I started stacking. So stacking is such a weird thing. So in my opinion, there's three reasons why people stack. Two of them are absolutely right, and one of them is absolutely wrong. And the one that's absolutely wrong is the shit hits the fan scenario.
Yeah, because if you have to bug out, it's too heavy.
Well, okay, so the first reason to stack is, society, let's just say, it's like today. Society is normal, right? I mean, we're always going to have a certain level of, everyone's, without getting into politics, because
right.
We're always going to have a certain level of distrust in our government. The higher the level of distrust, the higher the price of precious metals, right? That's literally just the way it works.
Yeah, or the lower the value of the dollar, the higher the metal.
Yeah,
right?
Well, yes. So the distrust in government lowers the dollar, which raises the price of precious metals, right?
Yeah.
So there's that, and also and when we talk stacking, it's important that we talk physical bullion, stuff you can hold in your hand.
You don't want
gold
paper
certificates.
saying
Exactly.
You don't want paper saying you have silver or gold. You want actual, tangible.
Exactly. So that's,
now, for a financial hedge, it's great.
Right. So that's the scenario we're in now. Today's stacking, right? That's the scenario we're in now. You have it as a financial hedge, as part of bigger portfolio, right? Situation 2. So I mentioned this on my live on the weekend. I'll use the U.S. as an example. I know I'm Canadian, and we're no better, if not worse. But the U.S. debt is at $38 trillion right now, right? So if you were to take the U.S. debt and divide that and put a portion on every person in the population, every person in the U.S. owes $118,000 towards that debt. Just to put that into perspective, right?
Yeah, and it'd be like 200,000 tomorrow.
Yeah, who knows, right?
Right.
And the country that holds the biggest portion of the U.S.'s debt is Japan. It's not China. Everyone thinks it's China. It's not. It's Japan. Japan owns $24 billion of the U.S. debt. So if tomorrow Japan decided they wanted to cash in that debt, your dollar is now worth next to nothing, right?
Right.
So that's scenario 2. Your dollar is worth nothing, but all that silver you stacked and all that gold, right through the roof.
Right.
So that's scenario 2. So that's, another good reason to stack. And the third scenario, and you mentioned it, is shit hits the fan, and that is a terrible reason to stack, in my opinion. And the only reason I say that is because self-sufficiency in the country lifestyle is kind of what I'm all about, right?
That's the best currency in a shit hits the fan scenario, right there.
What?
Your lifestyle.
Right. Stacks, and that's what I said on my live, is stack skills. Someone like yourself, Ed, that's good with their hands, that can build things, being able to, even garden. You don't need to know everything, but being able to can food, being able to sew, being able to garden, raise livestock, being able to hunt, fish, trap, all of those things are skills.
Right.
Because believe me, if it ever gets to that point, imagine yourself where your whole day is about surviving to the next day. You tend to your garden, you tend to your livestock, you chop wood, your whole day is about making it through the day, right? Which doesn't mean it's not enjoyable. I'm just saying, and you've raised these chickens, and somebody in that scenario comes up to you with a shiny piece of silver and offers to trade that to you for 3 of your chickens. You're going to look at him like he's got 3 eyes, right? It'll be absolutely useless, right? So, I mean, it's just stacking is very important. It's just to know what you're doing and why you're doing it, right?
In that type of situation, I'd much rather have non-GMO seeds.
Mm-hmm.
Way to clean water, purify water.
Yep.
Antibiotics. But if you know your herbs and stuff and things, you can get antibiotics in nature with honey and other stuff.
Yep. Another skill.
Whole grain alcohol is always good. You can use it for medicine and things like that. So much other things for that scenario. Hopefully it never happens, but you never know.
I don't think we're anywhere near there, right? Obviously, I'm not one of these panic type people, but you prepare for everything.
Right. It's better to be...
Aquadonkey's not wrong. Toilet paper and bullets will be worth more than anything, right?
Right. Mountain money, hey. Look how it was during the vid,
Yeah. And well, You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I remember. I know. In the States, in the States, it's a little different. Your government is different than ours. Like every state is kind of regulated differently. They've got more freedom than a Canadian province has. Right? We're more federally regulated than you guys.
Yeah, right where, yeah,
But I remember standing out.
States are a lot different than ours. You call them provinces, even though
Provinces,
and they're big, and your federal does take more reign over the provinces.
Yeah.
Where it's supposed to be like state then federal, but it's not always like that, it seems. But like California was like, they were 100 times harder during that time period in life than like Ohio or Florida,
Yeah,
it was kind of a crazy situation. Me, I didn't stop working or nothing. I went to work every day. And
yeah, so I was the same way. I'm an engineer. I was considered an essential, and I worked for a food plant. So I was considered an essential service when that happened. So I went to work every day. If you worked as a cashier in a shoe store, yeah, you weren't working for us. It was a really, really hard time for a lot of people. But I can remember every store based on the square footage of the store was only allowed to have so many people working in it, shopping in it. You were only allowed so many people inside that building, right? And I can remember standing outside a Walmart, waiting to go in for my turn to shop. And this woman coming out, and she had two, the massive things of toilet paper, and where are they, like 48 rolls or whatever?
Right.
You got to strap them to the roof of your car to get them home or whatever they are. And I remember, like, people in the line were mad. Like, I mean, mad, right? She's taking all the toilet paper, or oh my God, and as much as I try to hesitate to draw the parallel. Imagine if the grid goes down, how mad people will be with other people, and how violent people could get when people are that angry standing in a lineup outside a Walmart when a woman buys too much toilet paper.
Right.
It's not hard to imagine how quickly that people would turn on each other.
Well, even with logistics, if the supply chain got really broken, people like you will survive because of your lifestyle and where you live. Like Annie and others, Heath, myself. Unfortunately, people like in the Rotten Apple or in the concrete jungle of LA, it'd be chaotic in no time.
True, but I mean, if you think about it, I hesitate to say this because they do some things wrong, but you have a lot of Amish in Ohio, don't you?
Yeah.
Now, I don't believe in everything they do, but man, those people have it right. They have a community where everyone has a purpose, everyone has a skill, everyone relies on something. We live in a day and age where when you and I grew up, Ed, home economics and or shop were a requirement in school.
I actually took both.
Yeah, so did I. And people nowadays, they don't. In fact, a lot of schools, it's completely missing from the curriculum nowadays.
Oh, yeah, they don't even have it, which is stupid.
Yep. And it makes you question, like I don't want to be that paranoid guy because I'm not, but it makes you question your government when they don't want you to learn basic life skills. To me,
Yeah, we could get into a big old can of worms on this stuff, and it'd be an interesting conversation, but it's not really the show.
So for the purposes of the show, what I will say is when we talk about stacking, when we talk about all these things, remember just to learn skills. You don't. I suck at sewing, but at least be able to sew a patch onto your jeans to cover a hole, or to stitch up a hole, to darn your socks or something, right?
Right.
Learn basic things. It makes you useful, and in that scenario, more so than precious metals were. And that's what I was kind of driving at when we started the conversation, was to tie it back to precious metals. They're only going to get you so far. But make sure that you're taking care of yourself and others by learning those skills, and even at any level of where we are at in society, those skills are really, really important to have anyways, and teach them to your kids too. To circle back to what I said earlier in the show is, get your kids doing things, get them off the console. If you're younger, my two boys are 21 and 17. So, they've already been brought up. Now, how much they absorbed, I don't know, but they know how to hunt and fish. I can tell you that.
Well, they can keep themselves fed.
Yeah. Yeah. Other than that, I can't vouch for them for any. You can lead a horse to water, as they say, right?
True. But so there's some questions I guess we don't need to talk about now. We got those. Now, with tools and equipment, while you're out and about, since this is more of a treasure hunting and prospecting channel than it is all things country, no pun intended. What tool do you rely on most?
So when I'm out prospecting?
Okay, let me put it this way. What's in your kit every time you go out prospecting?
Wow. I could tell two things. Actually, you know what? It's one of them's right here. Let me grab it.
Good night, Gail.
Night, Gail. If you have a sluice, make sure you've got extra bolts and screws, because I've buggered myself up several times for getting extra bolts and screws and stuff like that. What else is like it? Basic first aid. Always bring basic first aid with you.
Yes.
Let me see if I can find this thing. It's in my pack, actually.
I have a small first aid kit and a water straw I always have with me.
Yep. Always bring extra water.
Pacifier, gold panners, some crevice tools.
Yeah, those are the basic. Like, obviously, I've got a gold pan. I've got, yes, a level. That's a great tip, Ed, because so many of us rely on these, right? So I've got a level on my phone. I've got, the rigid level tool. Yeah, when that runs out of batteries, that's useless.
Well, I'd only take a level if I'm taking my high banker.
You don't. Yeah, I found that's a good.
I don't need it with my dredge.
Well, even with a basic sluice, you can really tell when you see how the water runs off the end of the sluice, whether it's level or not, right?
With my sluice, I use the water in the sluice. Like you're saying, you can tell by the water running through the sluice if it's level. The V at the head of the sluice.
Yeah, where it meets after you feed it. Yeah, absolutely.
You can use that. And you could judge by the dancing behind your riffles or cells.
Yeah.
On if it's acting the way you want it for the material you're working.
Absolutely.
Now, if I had a high banker, I'd probably have my level with me in that tote. Sometimes I go way crazy overboard and I'm like Mr. Contingency. But like I've learned from my friends in the mother load, you kind of pick a tool for that day. Okay, I'm going to be crevicing, so I'll take down a detector, a crevice tool pan, and maybe a vacuum.
And actually, one person that on one of his videos gave me the best advice was Jason, is that prospecting is all about volume. If you want to get gold, you need to. So if you've got 8 hours to spend it.
That's true. Where's Jason and we're from? Now out west, I would kind of debate that and say it's the quality of material that you're after.
So I'll walk that back a bit then. I agree with you. It's both. The quality of material and the volume of that material that you can work through.
Right. Now, like here in Ohio, in certain places where I don't have crevices and stuff or bedrock, it's most definitely volume of material.
But at the same time, you want to put the bottom line. So what I was trying to drive at is I've especially when I've gone down to Coos Canyon, right, where I prospect with other people that have sluices and things like that. I've seen people spend an hour plus trying to make their sluice perfect. And I could pretty much guarantee you that if they got it near perfect and spent that extra 45 minutes running more material through, they would have got more. They would have got more gold out of it, right? Perfection, what's that saying? Perfection is sometimes the enemy of greatness, they say.
Yeah.
Right? But to get back to your question, I mean, this is a silly little thing. I got this at Cabela's. This is a tiny little
Leatherman
tool. It's like a mini Leatherman.
Okay.
Right. I always carry a knife, like a belt knife, with me. But man, I can't tell you how often that little pair of pliers has come in handy for me when I'm out, or the screwdriver to tighten the bolts in the sluice, or to improvise something when it wasn't working, or $10 that cost me at Cabela's, $10, and it saved my life, saved me like dozens of times probably.
Nice. 75-ounce golden nugget found with the
detector. I saw 75-ounce nugget and I stopped talking.
But I believe it, and it's out there, especially with a lot of the floods and landslides and stuff. But Bennett, don't I know a certain person in a certain region found something about the size of a cigarette pack with their detector? Just saying, it's out there. It's out there.
It is.
Bennett's metal detecting monster. If you, I think Mind Lab should put him on the gold team. I could have been, but the nugget looked real to me. It was not a video. It was just a picture saying it was found with the detector. Where at? Australia, California. James, Iron Antler, Bonehead Heathens. Hello, Beauty and the Beard. Oh, the other Brad.
Yeah. Lots of great Brads in the prospecting community. Seems to be a very.
I saw Rocky Mountain Prospector come in. So
John R is in the house. Good to see you, John.
Yeah. See, I bet he's coming to Rose Nose Monkey Fest. He was there last year. So was Brad. So I wish I had Brad's wallet. He gets to, he's actually lives in Utah, which is a little more centralized to some good gold country and stuff. He's gonna be down in Quartzsite, Arizona soon.
Nice.
Yeah, going to Arizona for a gold show.
I actually prospected in Arizona. I used to work for, long before I started the channel, when I left the military, I worked for FedEx, and they used to send me everywhere. And
really? Being in Ontario, they sent you to Arizona?
Yeah, because I was what they. So if you're going to build a warehouse, for example, I used to be the guy that you would go to. I was the engineer that would design the warehouse.
Okay, so
the guy you construction people hate.
Not all of you.
But yeah,
not all of you.
But they bring me on startups to do stuff. So I've been to Arizona. I've started warehouses for Target.
So you're an architectural engineer.
Actually, I'm a mechanical engineer. So I would design the conveyors and all the feed lights.
Oh, okay.
So it led me a few great places for fishing and hunting, and prospecting. One of those was Arizona, and as much as I loved Arizona, it was different. When I prospected, I'll be honest with you, it's not like I grabbed my pack and headed out in the woods prospecting when I went to these places for work, right? I would look up places,
grab a gold pan, go out real quick, do a pan.
No, so I would look at places like let me think of one, for example. I can't remember the name. There's one up in Alaska. There's several out there, but places where you pay to prospect. You go stay in a cabin, like Thermal City type of thing,
right.
And so I went out in Arizona, and as much as I enjoyed it, I cannot stand the sound of a dry washer. It's a long day listening to a dry washer, right? It's like being in construction and listening to a generator hum all day.
So they were using a leaf blower on it instead of like a puffer.
No, it was like like a vibrating dry washer.
Well, the dry washer, usually they have a leaf blower with a hose going from your leaf blower to underneath the dry washer.
Well, there was a blower.
It blows up, and then there's a weight inside that will spin on a fan that will create the motion while the wind's blowing up through the screen and the riffle. But yeah,
it was a noisy contraption. I'll just tell you that, right? And there was definitely air coming through it. I do know that.
Plus, it's really dusty. Hey, Josh, I've never dry washed, but running a dredge, you're underwater and you have the hum of your engine. But you hear the rocks going up the nozzle. Ding, 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 ding. Ooh, look at that VG. Ding.
I've never run a dredge before.
Well, another reason why I come to Rose Nose Monkey Fest. We'll get you on a dredge.
Yeah.
Bring your mask.
But so I kind of circumvent the laws here in Ontario. We're not allowed to run a dredge.
Right.
But when I clean out at the camp, one of the biggest places that I clean up where I prospect, dredging is defined here as something. Well, obviously, anyone who prospects knows how a dredge runs. Your tailings go straight back into the river, and it gets all silty, and
the turbidity is very minimal.
Right, but there's no law against taking dirt out of the river, as long as you're not immediately putting it all back in. So we have a contraption up the camp. So we take it, we clean out the swimming hole with a like a bobcat. And then I have gone in with a contraption we made with a jet pump, where you actually suck the dirt into the crevices and stuff like that. But it sucks all the dirt up into a barrel. It doesn't put it back into the creek, right? Which apparently makes it legal. But I got to tell you, that's one of the reasons I'd love to dredge. There's something very satisfactory about feeling all those little rocks and pebbles and all that stuff going up that hose. I don't know what it is. It's very satisfying. It's very soothing.
The fish will hang out there in your hole, and they'll
bluegill and stuff. Yeah,
they'll go after grubs and stuff that fall from your face wall, and they'll hang out at the back of the dredge while the tailings are going back in the river. You know,
actually, I think it was you that told me I still haven't tried it yet. I think it was you that gave me the challenge of to catch a fish and then go where you caught that fish and dig underneath it. I'm going to have to do that sometime.
Yes.
We'll call it the Ed Marvin challenge.
There you go. While you're fishing, if you catch a fish there, go over and sample right where you caught the fish.
We'll have to try that for sure.
Actually, I got that from an old timer in Washington State who took his fly rod with him prospecting. He'd catch his lunch, pan where he caught the fish, because it totally makes sense. Where do fish hang out?
Well, I guess it depends what fish, but deeper holes, that's for sure.
Well, yeah, but they duck into out of the main current.
Yes, they duck out. That makes sense. See, they'll duck into inside bends where the flow goes down, and they'll jump into where the flow is higher to grab their prey and come back. Right?
Yeah. So
it does actually make sense.
They sit in, like Lurker says, in eddies and dropout zones.
Yeah, it makes sense. It actually does make sense.
And stuff. So, and it's like, ding. So, there you go. Since you fish a lot, Mega Dog, we hang out at JP's bar sometimes. Right. Well, damn it, Jim. Doggone it, Brad. 2 hours have flown by.
Yeah, it was a good time.
I'm glad you had a good time. I had an excellent time with the legend himself. He who calls everyone else legend, the legend, all things country. And I'm going to steal his line to all of you out there because you're all legends too. I don't know if Mr. Lodak's going to be hosting an after party over at goldprospectorspace.com, but sometimes he does. People like Gail has hung out there. Brian from American Gold Prospector, and you never know, there might be someone else from Bering Sea Gold or something come in too. But next week we're having Andrew back with Modern Gold Mining Methods. It's the third episode in the series I'm doing with Andrew, and I'm sure he has something really cool lined up for it. Remember, it's not too late to let Rose Nose and Monkey that you're interested in Rose Nose Monkey Fest. Central Ohio. It's a nice place. That's all you're going to get from me right now. Yeah, but it's going to be a great time. May 15th through the 17th. Only $60 a camp. That means $60 for you and your family. You and your prospecting buddy. You and your lover. Who knows? Whatever. But guarantee going to be a good time with great people. Good night, Dot. Yes, looks like Mr. Lodak's having an after party. Brad, thank you very much for joining me.
Very enjoyable, sir.
I'll have to have you on again in a year or so, and I'll try and let you talk more.
I think I talked enough. Okay. No, you know what? It's nice to be amongst like-minded people. And sometimes you get on a subject that you're passionate about and you share your opinion. It's
right.
Amazing. Seeing people that I see from your chats, seeing some of the people that I don't always see in your chat that were in my channel. I mean, that's what community building is all about, right? And connecting to each other and just having a great time. And further to what you and I talked earlier, Ed, YouTube has to be fun or it's not worth doing. And it's this kind of stuff that makes it fun.
You're right. You're right. Everybody, thanks for joining us. Wait, let me see. I got my scrolling back. Good. But where do I want to be? I don't know. Everybody, thanks again for joining Brad and I tonight. Next week, it's Andrew with Modern Gold Mining Methods, show number 3. But I hope you all have an awesome week to come. All kinds of great community shows throughout the week. I need to really write them down so I could give some shout outs to some great shows. I need to stop that. But for now, right now, I'm still driving up to 2 hours a day one way for work at this time. We're getting closer to being completed. But it wears on my Tuesday nights a little because I still probably got about an hour of post-production work to do. But I'll probably see you in the after party, Mr. Lodak and others. Brad, thank you again for joining me. Most of all, thank you out there, all of you, for being part of Flashing Your Pan and the Treasure Hand Treasure Community. Wrench! On, good seeing you, buddy. Never too late, but we're about to end the show. Good night, mi amigo de Villa. Until then, may you always have a flash in your pan. And you know what I like to say, because it does happen. Maybe one day too, we'll meet you on the river. But for this very second, right now, we're out of here.
Tuesday night hangout live. We've had our fun. The battery was strong. The night's been won. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you soon. Tuesday night hangout live is for all of you. FlashFam forever. We'll keep the vibe. Catch us next time. Let's keep
Night
it
comes real
live.
close. We're feeling great. FlashFam is together. Whenever it feels just right. The wonderful guests, good times are so much fun. Tuesday night hangout live will turn very soon. Thank you for joining us. It's been a fantastic time. Camaraderie is strong, and we're built to last. Till next time, we look forward to seeing you again. Tuesday night hangout live will be back soon. Give us a like. Don't say goodbye. Just see you later. FlashFam forever. Until we meet again.